Hi students, in previous class we saw about the framing of Constitution of India. So we discussed about when the Constitution has been framed after the Great Britain, great independence from a great British, and it is served as a national first parliament and is formed in 1946. And based on the objectives of this constitution, the constitution has been framed to protect each and every individual of the society. They have a rightful place in this world and work for the peace and also welfare of the mankind. So let us see in this diagram. Let us see that is the Dr. Sachinanda Singha was the first president, that is temporary president of the Constituent Assembly when it went on December 9, 1946. Later, Dr. Rajendra Prasad became a president of our Constituent Assembly, and next is Dr. Ambedkar became a chairman of drafting committee of on December 11, 1946. So the first image shows the first temporary president. His name is Dr. Sachidananda of Constitution Assembly, and the second one is your Dr. Rajendra Prasad. So he framed the constitution in 1946, 1950, January 26. And next is your Dr. Ambedkar. He became a chairman of the drafting committee in 1946. Okay. Next, this image shows the framing of the constitution. Here the Constitutional Assembly consists of 385 members, of which 292 were elected by the elected members of the Provincial Legislative Assembly, while 93 members were nominated by princely states. To these were to be added or represented each from the four chief commissioner provincials of Delhi, Ajmer, Mawar, Coorg and British. So this image represents the first day, that is December 9, 1946, the Constitution Assembly. Next is, so we frame the constitution by borrowed features, that is from UK, USA, Australia, USSR, Japan, Canada and South Africa and Ireland. So from UK's nominal head, that is president and cabinet of ministers and post of PM and parliament type of government, and law house more powerful and council of ministers and Lok Sabha speaker. And from USA, written constitution and appointment of vice president, fundamental rights, Supreme Court and head of the state known presidents and judiciary review. And from Australia, we adopted a concurrent list and central state relationship and language of preamble. And from USSR, fundamental duties and 5-year plan. And for German, emergency provisions. And for Japan, law on which Supreme Court functions. And from Canada, federal systems and residual powers. And from South Africa, procedure of a constitutional amendment. And from Ireland, concept of directive principles. So for the time being, till the constitution was made, that India would be governed in accordance with the Government Indian Act in 1935. The assembly met in the session open to the public for 166 days, spread over a period of 2 years, 11 months and 18 days before adopting the constitution. So it almost took 2 years, nearly 3 years to adapt a constitution. It was finally passed and accepted by the month of November 26 in 1949. In all, the 284 members of the assembly signed on official copies, that is original copies of the Indian constitution. After many deliberation and some of the modification over 111 plenary session in 114 days, the 308 members of the assembly signed 2 copies, that is a final copy of the document, one each in Hindi and English, on 24th January of 1950. Same day, the assembly elected Dr. Rajendra Prasad as the president of India, which came into effect from January 26, 1950, known as celebrated as the Republic Day of India. So over a period of 3 years, the constitution certain rules have been framed, and it is open to the public. And finally the rules has been passed and accepted in November 26th of 1949 by all the 284 members. They are they have signed the official copies. And around and Dr. Rajendra Prasad become a first president of India from January 26, 1950, and that day is said to be the Republic of India. Thank you. If you have any clarification, please free to contact me.